Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the May 22nd, 2025 Historic Preservation Meeting. This is a New Jersey, this is a special, not a special, it's a regular meeting of the Montclair Historic Preservation Commission. Notice has been given in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act by posting a copy of the notice on the first floor of the municipal building and by sending a copy to the Montclair Times, the Star Ledger, and the Herald News. We are being broadcast live on Channel 34, Montclair TV, and remotely streamed on YouTube. Roll call, please.
Chair Bennett.
Present.
Vice Chair Graham.
Here.
Mr. Ryman.
Here.
Mr. Rooney.
Here.
Mr. Sweeney is not present. Mr. Julian.
Here.
Mr. Pierre is not present. Mr. Mixer.
Present.
Ms. Floyd is not currently present, and that's it.
Is Alexi coming today?
So, I might have misunderstood Stephen, because when we spoke, he said that he was sending the substitute, but then when I think we decided that maybe he wasn't needed at this meeting, but
Okay.
I wasn't sure if that was just Stephen or Alexi, but
Okay.
I think we'll be okay without him today.
Right,
Yeah.
okay, just wanted to make sure, thank you. Before we proceed, can you speak to the postponement of the Pleasant Avenue application, please?
Yes, so application number 2012-16, or 2000, sorry. So application 2004-12, 16 Pleasant Avenue for 6 Pleasant Way Holdings LLC has been postponed until potentially July 17th, but it's a matter we're going to discuss with the attorney, Janine Bauer, and advise them further because it's been delayed.
So long, okay,
Yeah.
so I will place a phone call to Janine.
Okay.
Okay, and I'll let you know. Approval of the minutes. Has everyone had an opportunity to read the minutes of last month, April 17th? Do you have any? I caught that too.
Oh, you caught that too? Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
You want to take it, Chair?
No, go
Okay.
ahead.
Just on page 2, line 26 to 28, we will be ratifying the resolution tonight, so we should change the date to May, what is it, the 22nd?
Right.
Instead of June 12th. And then I just, on page, where was it? Page 4, line 132. I think at the end we can end the sentence after comma while modernizing, because it says and gaining a little more. I believe we were going to say living space, but the next sentence does state that he'll be getting more space. So I would just recommend ending the sentence after while modernizing.
Yeah, omitting and
Yeah.
gathering a little more.
Yeah.
I had that too. Anybody else have any
Oh,
correction?
sorry, I just got one
sorry.
more.
Okay.
Apologies. Same page, page 4, line 120. I think we have to say as well as a rear deck, just inserting as. That's it.
Okay. I have one on page 2, the Historic Trust Grant. So the Historic Preservation Commission will submit an application for a Historic Trust Grant for a preservation plan to explore the rehabilitation of the Montclair Police Department. Because we're not looking for monies for rehabilitation at this point. Hopefully we will, but not. And that was it. Okay, so may I have a motion to approve the minutes?
I move to approve.
Thank you. Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, thank you. Now we have the resolution that's been kicking around for 2 months. This is application for development number 2909, application for total demolition of a historic structure, number 2024-34. And Zanab has checked with the attorney from the planning board that says that, who can vote on this tonight? Everyone here, or?
So, people who can vote tonight are you, Mr. Rooney,
Is the microphone on, Stand-up? I'm sorry.
No, it is not, sorry. Chair Bennett, Mr. Rooney, Mr. Reimnitz, Mr. Giuliano, Mr. Mixer, and that's it.
Okay, so then we have a quorum, right? Yeah, we can vote on it. So would someone like, so why don't you call the vote then?
Okay. So Chair Bennett,
Yes.
Mr. Rooney,
Yes.
Mr. Reimnitz,
Yes.
Mr. Giuliano,
Yes.
Mr. Mixer.
Yes.
Okay?
And I abstain.
Yes.
Thank you. All right.
Okay. Committee reports. The minor application, 2025-7 Soul Bistro at 537 Bloomfield Avenue was approved with conditions. Application 2025-8 Toro Sushi, 44 Upper Montclair Plaza, was approved with conditions. And we have the new resolution tonight, but it was approved. It's just, it goes into a little bit more detail. Application 2025-9, the Saint Montclair at 32 Church Street, that was approved with conditions. And 2025-10 Dolce Vita Windows at 108 110 Bloomfield Avenue was approved with conditions. And today you had a meeting with the, was that 2025-11?
Yes, that was 2025-11. It was a application for a fence at 24 Upper Mountain Avenue that is pending, as we need more details from them.
Okay, good. So they'll come back to the next minor applications. Okay, thank you. Outreach, the HPC held a very good meeting in collaboration with the Montclair History Center and the Montclair Library, at the library, on a workshop researching your home. And it was actually overbooked. We had 10 people in each session, and we had a waiting list. So
Wow.
it was great. It was a lot of people. I told them about our meeting. I was hoping someone would show up tonight, but
How
I think
is that advertised?
it's advertised on our website, and then it's advertised at the Montclair History Center, flyers, and the library. It's also advertised on the library website. So,
Yeah. From what I could tell, the registrations ran out pretty quickly. Like, people were very interested in it.
and they were from everybody. They were from all over town, and most of the people didn't know the resources which are available, which are really great. I mean, we've got the best resources available to. So anyone out there in the public that's watching, look for our next Research in Your Home, which will be in the fall. We wanted to get another one, but it's getting too packed before the summer. So it will be in the fall. And so, again, you can look at the 3 websites, and the registration actually goes through the library, and then you register with your address, and then the library, Marissa will pull the deed, and then you can look at the deed. You can do a deed search right there to see who lived in your home. So watch out for that. It was very, very successful. Our award ceremony is going to be next month, June 12th at 7 o'clock. So we hope to see people there. The CLG grant, which our kickoff meeting with our hired consultant will be May 28th from 2 to 2:30, and that's a virtual meeting, correct?
Yes, it'll be
Okay.
over Zoom.
Okay, that'll be over Zoom. And then our design review committee met, application 2023-40B, for a change and adjustment to the east facade of the Bellevue Avenue Theater. So that, I think, has come to a good conclusion, and I know that they're working on it. So we really hope to see it open soon. So I think that's all I have to say about my committee reports. Does anyone else have any committee reports?
Chair, would this be an appropriate time to discuss the planning board meeting during committee reports, or would you like that?
I thought we could
During-
do it at the end.
At the end?
Because at the
Sure.
end, because then we can have a discussion about. But Mike did a great job at the planning board meeting when they were discussing the affordable housing in Montclair. So moving on to the next will be on our agenda. The next number is public comment. Is anyone here from the public that would like to say anything? No? Okay, public comment is closed. We have no old business. New business is a Board of Adjustment referral. It's application 2928, 1110 Orange Road, the Montclair History Center, block 1304, lot 12. And the application, this is an application for development, excuse me, it will be going to the, it's the planning board? Where does this go on to?
This is going to the zoning board.
The zoning
for
board.
a variance from the sign ordinance.
So it's going on to the zoning board. The one thing, Zanab, on the report that you wrote, the Nathaniel Crane House is 1.5 stories, not 2.5. So in our report, the project description is the applicant proposes to install a freestanding pole-mounted historic marker sign along the sidewalk of Orange Road in the northeast corner of the property. The pole measures 7 feet and will be installed 3 feet into the ground so that 4 feet shall be visible. The historic marker sign will extend 30 inches beyond the pole for a total visible height of 78 inches or 6.5 feet. The sign will have a width of 42 inches or 3.5 feet. The signage would be installed in the portion of the lot that is level with the sidewalk. And this is going to the zoning board. The applicant is requesting a variance to permit a historic marker sign that is higher than 6 feet above grade, as well as another variance to permit an historic marker greater than 2 feet square in area. And Zanab and I conferred. She's going to add more detail to this report that will go going to the zoning board to include the historic significance of the site. It is a local landmark. It was constructed in 1796 in the Federal Greek Revival style. It was moved in 1965 from Glenridge Avenue to the current location to escape demolition. It was surveyed by Habs in 1935 to 37, and it was placed on the National Register in 1973. So it's really one of our landmarks of Montclair, and we're so glad that you were able to get the funds to put up a historic marker. So without further ado, I'm going to invite Angelica Diggs up to the podium, and we have to swear you in. So do you swear to tell the truth?
There we go. Yep.
Do you swear to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth about this application?
Yes.
And could you identify yourself and your relationship to the project?
Angelica Diggs, and I'm the executive director of the Montclair History Center.
Okay, great.
Great.
And we have a very nice, I think you have to stand at the computer, though.
I'll
and-
do that when I hit the slide, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I reprinted, I don't know why I pre-printed all of it with the additional image I'm going to show for the
Oh,
second
great.
proposed location. So I'm just going to may I approach the bench? And I'm going to bring that to you. Sorry, a little waste of paper. I didn't think about it when I did it.
Thank you.
Yeah, so that's just on the second page. You'll see
Thank
the
you.
additional proposed.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
We don't need to mark exhibits, right? This is a
No,
referral,
thank you.
right? Yeah.
That's great. Thank you. Okay.
So Angelica, maybe you can fill us in a little bit on the history of the, you received a grant for this? and-
Yes, yep. So I'm going to tell you all about that. I think most of you know us, but just quickly, so Montclair History Center, we have 3 historic properties, one of which is proposed for the historic site marker this evening, which is the Crane House and Historic YWCA Museum. We also have a research center and archives, do a lot of community events, programs out in Montclair. So we've been here since 1965. So we do a lot of outreach, as I said, field trips for students on site, programs on and off, walking tours in the community. We have a whole YouTube virtual programs channel. We reach thousands of people every year, upwards of almost 11,000 for on and off site and virtual programming, including a very strong partnership with Montclair Field Trips to us every single year for probably about 30, 40 years now. So a long time. So the reason I'm here tonight We, amongst two other sites in town, have been nominated and placed on the New Jersey Black Heritage Trail. So that specifically relates to the Crane House and historic YWCA's history when it was a YWCA for, it was a segregated Y for black women and girls from 1920 to 1965. So essentially when the home was built, that was part of the Crane family's history, enslaved and servants in the household. The house was then rented, and then in 1920 it was actually purchased by the newly formed YWCA. The Y had formed prior to that. It was operating out of a small home on Forest Street. Because of discrimination and segregation in Montclair, there was a need to find a space. And lo and behold, this house, which used to be located a block in from Lackawanna train station, was available and became this community hub for African American women. So as an educational hub, social center, and also provided dormitory and living spaces for black women as single women, so safe spaces to live as well. So it operated as that for 45 years. So with that significance, we've been nominated onto the Black Heritage Trail to honor that history of the house from 1920 to 1965 when it was operating in that historic structure. So we're really excited and proud, and congrats and shout out to St. Mark's and Howe House, who I know Betty's here for tonight. So the marker sign, as you saw mock-ups, the sign, I should say, backtrack, is funded in part through the New Jersey Historical Commission. So that's a part of the state. That's where this program is from. So the visual and sizing of the sign is coming from the state, so that's what brought me here tonight to get the approvals needed. So that is a mock-up of what it would look like freestanding. Also, just pretty cool fun fact, they all come with a QR code, so anyone who walks up can scan it and then connect to the other sites in Montclair that will also eventually get a sign, and across the state, which will be ever-changing, so that's pretty awesome about it. This is the marker text we worked with the commission to approve, as well as the title. So that is the exact text that will be on the sign, and the title as well to honor it, which you have in the handout, so you probably have already read that as well. So we submitted with a proposed location. We've gone back and forth about location. I know, Kathleen, you also asked me to submit a second. So one was, part of our challenge is the house is on a slope, and we didn't want to put the sign obviously too far up. The whole idea is we want people walking by and on the street level to be able to engage with it, who maybe not would have otherwise thought to walk up and go look at the sign. So one location we had discussed was in this open space to the right side of the property. The other location proposed is directly in front of the property. The only reason why we hesitated and we're open to discussion was, would the distance between the retaining wall and the sidewalk be an issue for digging up to get the pole in the ground? I don't really know that until the contractor comes out to tell me, but that certainly is an option to make it more front and center as well. So, and that's that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
So what we'll do is we'll open it up for discussion from the commissioners, for questions from the commissioners first, and then we'll open it up to discussion.
Great, okay.
Okay, so do you have any, Mr. Mixer, do you have any questions?
No questions for me, thank you.
Nick?
No, I don't have any at the moment.
I have no questions.
I see another sign just uphill of the,
Yep.
Does that sign stay, the hanging?
That was part of what we hesitated to. That is, that's just our hanging location sign, which is also affixed, obviously, with cement into the ground. So that would be there unless we would have to move that if we determined to put the other one in the front. Yeah.
What does it have, when you say it's a location
Oh,
sign? Just the address?
Name of the museum and our address and when it's open, so the public knows. Yeah, it's a hanging sign on both sides.
Information, okay.
Yeah, you can, unfortunately, I know you can't see the text, but in proposed location 1, you at least can see what it looks like from the side view, which has our logo, name, address. Yeah.
I don't have any other questions.
Do you have any questions?
The state is standardizing these signs, right, for all of the sites?
That is
connected?
correct, yeah. So we don't have
Yeah.
a choice in its size and measurements.
And I'm assuming it's a branding thing also, probably. for the
It
state,
is, so
yeah.
they're all going to be the same. Yep,
Okay.
that's correct. Mhm.
And the height as well?
You know, the height, I'm going to be honest, confused me with the contractor because the pole, I'm assuming at least 3 feet is going to go on the ground. And then it's a little questionable. It probably will still go slightly above the 6 feet either way because the top part affixed somehow to that top of the pole. So the question is how far down it affixes with the bracking. So that's correct, yep.
So my question about the placement was, you did show another image of moving the sign further to the south. Is there a possibility that, and to John's point, that it would be in competition with your wooden sign, in front of those hedges? Are those hedges possible to be trimmed? That you
Oh, yeah, they could be trimmed, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I wonder if you could put the sign not in the location that you showed on this map, I mean, on this image, the second image, but a little bit further to the, a little bit closer to the staircase.
You mean on the right side between
Yes,
the hanging
move it
sign
more-
and the
yeah,
bush?
yes.
Yeah. Yeah, making it more in front directly of the museum,
Well,
essentially.
the only
Yeah.
reason is because when I looked at this image,
Yeah,
it was a little bit confusing as to whether or not you were drawing attention to the Nathaniel
That's fair,
crane
yeah.
or the
Yeah.
Israel crane house. That was,
yeah. I think our board would be happy to have that be the proposed spot. The only reason we probably didn't and questioned it was because of the retaining wall originally.
Okay.
So I guess we would consult with a contractor as long as that wouldn't cause any issue.
Right.
Yeah, I
Sorry,
mean, it
just-
would be nice to have it more front and center. Originally, we even talked about up the hill, but you can't see it, so. yeah.
But Chair, I'm sorry, I just wanted
Yeah.
to clarify. Chair, were you suggesting moving the hanging sign by the hedges?
No, this sign
Or
over
this
here.
sign by the hedges, you were
Right,
saying?
because I think you want to keep the view from the street. If you move
The state sign.
the state sign in front of the hedges, you keep that open view to the house.
I see what you mean now. So that when you're passing by, the hanging one is completely viewable from both
Right.
sides, and then you put that one in front of a hedge spot, so then I must have misunderstood what you said as well. So, yeah,
Oh.
that makes sense, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so we already opened it up for discussion. We'll open it up again. Discussion? John?
I think it's great, so just to start with that, it's fabulous. I don't like it sitting in front of the house, because it blocks the house. That, to me, is like,
You know, I think.
what's more important?
Yeah,
here?
I think when we talk with the contractor and with the sizing, that'll help us, I hopefully figure out the best spot, whether it's between the hedge or more to that right spot to the right of the stairs, I know, yeah.
Well, I'm talking about, I see this image where it's centered on the house.
Yeah, I know.
Which you don't like, you said,
Which I
right,
don't-
correct,
that's what
yeah.
I'm saying, I don't like.
Yeah.
I do like the idea of placing it near the steps, because that's going to be the natural path that someone takes to
Right.
go to the house, so, as opposed to that other image where everyone has to go up the steps. I guess they can go up the other steps, but at least you pass by it. And I like Kathleen's suggestion to put it to the left of the steps.
Yep, in front of the
so
hedges,
it
yeah.
relates more to the actual house.
Well, it also keeps the image of the house clear from the street.
Mm-hmm.
Because here, it really, I've seen some of these markers, and you look at them, and it just obscures some of the house, or the structure.
Appreciate that, yeah.
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's it obstructing here?
No, if it's here.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
But I think it's also, your suggestion of putting it on the other side of the stairs
Mm-hmm.
is a good one.
Yeah.
So everyone's in agreement in terms of the variance for the size of the height and also the size of the sign. There's no,
Yeah, I think
there's
it's
no
fine.
discussion about that. Okay, so it really is just the
The
placement.
placement, okay, yeah.
Any other
Yeah.
points?
No, I would agree with what's already been said. I think it works nicer kind of out of the front view of the house. I think if it's by the stairs, it still is
Right.
clear that it's related to that
Okay.
building. Overall, I think it's a great idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, yeah.
When does this go to the zoning board?
2-3 weeks, right? Yeah.
Yeah, we have you scheduled for June 4th.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
great, soon.
Yeah, soon, yeah,
All right.
yeah.
All right, so I think what it's really the location of it.
Yeah,
And
Yep. Mhm.
I think it'll be great. I think it's great that you've got that code that will connect with the Howe House in St. Mark's.
yeah, we're all really excited.
And the entire state?
The entire state.
Oh.
So as the way it works with the Historical Commission, I guess technically the Black Heritage Trail is a subset of their organization. So each year they're opening up more nominations, so more and more every year will be added statewide, and it's the same QR code that just gets updated too.
Okay,
Which is
all right.
nice, yeah.
All right.
Mhm.
Any other further comments? Okay, that sounds great, Angelica.
Great, thank you all for the
thank you.
support. And I just want to say, Zaneb saved me. I just want to, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to put shout outs. It's been phenomenal with every little question. Because I actually realized in the 10 years I've been with the History Center, I've never had to do a historic site marker sign. So it's the first time. It's been a long time since we put a new one up, and we're really excited to celebrate the Wise history. So
Oh,
thank you all.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Well, I appreciate it. All right.
All right. So, moving along, it's not adjournment yet. We have a discussion on the affordable housing in Montclair. And I thought that this has to be into the state on June 20th. It was already reviewed by the planning board this Monday, and Janice is writing her report that will be, will go to the state. So I got the dates a little mixed up and wasn't prepared to have a discussion last month. But Mike did a great job at the planning board.
Thank you, Chair.
And I'll let him summarize what he said.
Well, just as liaison between the planning board and the HPC, I wanted to make sure that the historic preservation, was noted as an important aspect of this housing and fair share plan. It's a policy document. It's not law. But there were a couple of issues that I wanted to highlight. One was reducing our oversight of garages that were being demoed for ADUs. So I requested that language diminishing our oversight be removed. We decided that because at times structural engineering reports could be prohibitively expensive. A fair compromise would be to allow a committee review of an ADU application prior to requesting a structural review before the entire board. So that was one compromise that we came to. The other issue was that there were certain historic sites that were identified as potential affordable housing adaptive reuse sites. So the request was to note that the historic preservation of these sites should be an important policy consideration, and one of the elements that we balance when determining where to put affordable housing, and to work in conjunction with the HPC to make sure that these historic sites are given their due consideration when converting a use to an affordable housing project. So those are the two main points that I discussed at the meeting, and I believe the report is due. What is it? June 30th?
It's June 30th.
June
yes.
30th, and it's going before the council shortly.
So I thought if anyone else has any comments, that we would write up, it doesn't have to be long, it just has to be a couple of paragraphs, and we will submit it to Janice, and then it will be included within this policy document, which is affordable housing. At least we get a caption of historic preservation. And the things that with affordable housing, what they're talking about is really using adaptive reuse for historic structures, which is something that we recommend highly, and also the possibility of creating more ADUs. And to what Mike was talking about was that when an ADU, if it's a historic garage, let's say, on a property that really is significant to the use of that, or the past use is significant in terms of either use, somebody who lived there, or design, that should be a consideration, that we should still have oversight, just not be, not knock it down and build from scratch. So I think those were the two main considerations, which really work with the affordable housing policies.
And one thing to note, we'll also have an opportunity to comment on the master plan,
Right.
the revised master plan that is due in, I believe it's July 26th. And that will have, we have the ability to revise the historic preservation element in conjunction with the planning board.
So my two questions for this then, if the oversight on demolition of ADUs goes to a committee, do we have to create a new committee, or could that be something that design review committee?
Just I wouldn't create more
I know, I
committees.
didn't want to, but I just wanted to make sure we were on that, okay?
Is there a revisions committee? I don't recall. I know we have one for the planning board, but I'm
Yeah,
not.
there is we have revisions and design
Oh,
review.
but I guess it
This would be design review.
But I
it
think
would be
this would be
design review,
design
you're right.
review.
It wouldn't be a revision. That's
Okay.
right.
And I think that was it. I think that was it for affordable housing. If anyone has any other thoughts that need to go into our,
Maybe just support from the Historic Preservation Commission with language like, we support it because of this, and how that supports the history of Montclair. Not in those exact words, but the intent.
especially in terms of adaptive reuse. Okay? So that discussion's closed. And Mike brought up a very good point about the historic preservation element. So I think years ago, we created a committee for that. Does anybody remember? But if nobody remembers who was on it, we have to create, because we really have to start thinking about that. So I volunteered because I worked on the last HP element. Okay.
I'm on the
Volunteer
planning
too.
board master plan committee, so I don't know if that would interfere with the
No, you have to
HPC.
be- no.
So I probably shouldn't be
Right.
on that, yeah.
Right.
Can you clarify what this
Well, have you,
7 times a week.
no, we have a very good master plan, historic preservation element of the master plan. Why don't I urge everyone to review it, and then at the June meeting, if you feel that it's not a complete overhaul of our HP element, it's really to update it. Because we've got a couple of more, we've done historic structures, we have, I think, another local landmark. We've got things that we need to add to it. But all the documentation as far as what preservation, what we've done and what's been done in the past is all within that document. But it's also a planning tool for the future. So, there's been a lot of talk about transit center development. So just to look at that and we would meet, if it's next year, we would really have to probably get something together in a draft by the end of the year, I would say. But honestly, it's not a complete rewrite, because if you look at it, it's got, it's an update. It's an update. And I don't think it's necessary for this type of update to request a grant,
Right.
because I think we would be able to do it amongst ourselves. Okay? All right, well, anybody else have anything else to say? No? Well, we
That's
are
it.
ready to adjourn.
I move to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, see everybody next month, June 12th, 7 o'clock will be the Preservation Awards. Thank you.
Thank you.